welcome back to Vic's Bricks. Today I'm going to do a review on this UrGe toy square. Now, lovely big build this one. It has 5,477 pieces and it comes with 8 minifigs. It's the UrGe brand, not a Lego takeoff, it's its own brand. And it cost me $184. So that's not bad for the 5,477 pieces, about 3 cents a piece, if my maths is correct. All right, so we'll have a look at the manual first. This one, again, lovely big colour manual for it. And yeah, easy to follow instructions as usual. And the thing that I noticed with this one as well, it had an alternate build. What you could do is build it the way it is, and there was a second build where the middle section was taken out and it was just sort of like a walkthrough. And you'll see from the photo that I've got here, you'll see the difference between the normal and the walkthrough. I didn't like the walkthrough because it didn't really have anything in it, but you can. They gave you the extra parts to make that walkthrough. I didn't use it because to me I thought it was a bit pointless, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to go through this one. It has a lot of pros, but it has a few cons as well. So let's go the pros first. All right, as I said, nice big build, really spectacular colours, and the way they've used the little features in here. You've got these little circles here. They're the little binoculars, but they're gold and they've gone in that way. And the little skateboards they've used for decoration. They've done really well in the presentation of it, of using different things to make different things, and it is very, very different from other builds. The colours I liked. Again, they're getting away from the plain old beiges and stuff like that. They're going along with you've got army green and you've got sand green on this one. You've got, I think it's called dark nougat, this colour here. And they've still got the greys and things, but they've really added some colour to it, which is, and then your sand green fences as well. So I think they're getting really good with the colours now. They're not saying with the standardised colours when it comes to these things. Now, it's a big build. It's 1.5 base plates wide, so 48 studs rather than the normal 32, but that's okay. When it's built, it's built in 2 sections. You build the 32 section, and then you've got the 16 section, and they clip together. You can see it's raised here, so they've got those pins, the Technic pins to lock it in, and then you use the tiles on the top to seal it in. So it's not going anywhere at all. It's, as I said, it's really quite good, and I think I did stabilise it myself a little bit down the bottom as well. And that's one thing with this one, with the stability. I'll come back to that. There was a little bit of a flaw in the stability of this one. The grip power is good with all the bricks. I think it was just the design had a couple of little flaws, I thought. But once it's all put together, it is quite stable. Like, it's quite stable now. But you can see it's not attached, so you can see I can do that and take, yeah. So that piece isn't attached to that piece in any way, which, again, when you go to move it, you have to be very, very careful. All right, so let's start at the front. It has around the side here, I think this is a cafe inside of here. Inside this, I think it's supposed to be a cafe at the front, but there's only a staircase inside, so it doesn't really come apart. There's only a staircase through the door here. And then through this one, there's a cafe down the bottom there. So this really, I think, just staircases up and you can walk along the boardwalk here, and then into the, I think, because the back opens up, yeah, toy store up the top and cafe down the bottom. As you can see, they've written the words in toys there, which I thought was very clever. And as I say, really nice presentation of all the swirls and things like that. So inside, I'll just give it a spin and show you the back. All right, with this one, they've got doors that open up, like you've got a single door here and a single door here. Now, they open up to show you what's inside. This one, again, it just slides in there, so you have to be careful. It does actually slide out if you're not careful. So that's really how you get to see what's inside. You really don't get to see what's inside this area unless you pull it all apart. But, I mean, that's still a good idea to be able to look in and close the doors up that way. And see, as you can see, that one, yeah, it's not actually secured, so you have to be very careful that, yeah, it does tend to slide out of that little thing there. So again, being very careful to slide it in. So yeah, really, as I said, the inside, I'll show you in a minute, is really good. A lot of attention to detail there. Just going on to, there was a couple of things that I wasn't happy with, which is I didn't feel it was quite finished in some respects. Now, on that note, this didn't have anything here at all. It just basically went straight out to a big drop and I didn't like it. So I actually had a couple of my sand green fences and I replaced that bit there with studs so I could put that in there just to stop. It just, yeah, to me it didn't, there's no steps or anything, so it didn't really come across as being, I don't know, not safe, but yeah, just didn't look right to me. So I put that in there to stop, yeah, anything there. And they've got these little ones here, which I thought was going to put in a like a drain pipe, which it didn't. But I'm gonna put some black sticks through there, which I haven't yet. I haven't got enough of them to make it, but yeah, just to finish that, because that just, to me, it's just, I don't know why it's there, but I'm going to put some, like, for a down pipe in there. Again, the back of this, really good use of, these are the handcuffs that we normally see grey ones with the police. These are sand green handcuffs. Use them for toilet seats, things like that. So they've used a lot of different things to make it a bit interesting in that respect. The back here, as you can see, they just left it all studs. I put the tiles here and I'm going to put more tiles there, but I left them off just to show you that that's how it came, and to me that looks a bit unfinished. The back of this as well, that was just left as studs there. And that was just a plain stud like these ones. I'm going to put the little black pointy thing on these ones here. But again, to me, it looked a little bit unfinished. And all it really took was just a couple of extra tiles just to finish it off, I thought. But yeah, that was, you know, because they went to so much detail in doing the windows that they, yeah, just didn't put in a couple of tiles, which I thought was a bit odd, but anyway, that's just me. So, and on that note, as I say, adding a couple of things of my own. This little waste basket was over here in the picture, and it didn't have a lamp post. Almost every modular you get has a lamp post. So I put a little stud tile there and moved the bin over there and put the light there. Because again, to me, when you put your modulars together, you've got to have your lamp posts. Every other modular has one, but this one didn't. Don't know why. Maybe because it had, like, you got your lamp there, very fancy looking lamps, and then lamps sort of under there. So they did have a lot of lamps on the building, but yeah, I like, when you run it along, it has the white ones here. Came with the 8 minifigs, all different types, a little boy, I think 3 ladies, 2 other guys, but yeah, 8 altogether. And very different ones. So this one's got blue hair, which is nice for a change. So also the staircase. The staircase was done in a very different sort of way. It used the, I suppose, like a little wedge, and did it upside down and just placed it on like that. So the steps you'll see are very different to what I've never seen those steps done that way before, and the only difference is it does leave a gap in there, which you'll see. Okay, again, yeah, nice little use of different things. I like that little pavilion there, which was really good, but yeah, sort of nothing much happening in that area. So I'll go on to the inside of it, and this is where I'll show you the cons of it. So I'll give it a spin. Also, when it came to not being finished, that was just left as studs as well. So the bottom one came with those slant wedges. The bottom one came with it, but this one didn't. And when it closed, it didn't look finished. It looked wrong. So I got my own wedges and put them up there so that at least it looks, closed and finished. So again, I don't know why they didn't, but it just didn't come like that. And again, it just seemed unfinished. Right, now to pull it apart, this is one of the cons. Let me pull it apart and I'll tell you why. All right, so this section all comes apart. You've got the roof, comes off that one. There's a little bit of stuff happening in there. So that bit peels off like that. This one's got little toys and things like that with the staircase coming up to it. This bit, it might be attached to the other bit. Again, it wasn't put together as well as I would have done, but this lid comes off. And in here, you've got the other toy section. So it came off, that one came off like that. So yeah, I mean, I love there's heaps of detail when it came to the toys and things inside, and that's that slidey one, as I said, that back door opens. And again, the different use of lights, I thought the lights were very good. So the insides, I thought were very good. I think, it did come with tiles. I didn't have to supply my own tiles, so that's the inside of that. This one comes off as, I'm pretty sure, as one big piece. Yeah, one big piece like that, which, I don't know, it just didn't seem right to me. And that was the floor base. This sits on it, so there was no tiles or anything there. But I did have to put a couple of extra stud tiles to keep it on because it just sort of sat there. And again, that's the staircase that goes up, nothing else much happening, goes up to that bit there. And this one, again, that back door opens. It didn't have any stud tiles. I put a few stud tiles for people to stand on and things like that. But again, a lot of attention to detail for these colours in there. Again, I think a lot of detail in some areas and not enough in others. So I don't know what was going on with that, but I know I did have to put a few extra stud tiles on top. There was only like one or two, and it wasn't strong enough in my opinion. So I like strong ones that don't fall apart in your hands, Chief. So I'll just move that across to there. So this was how it was built. This section here from there pulled out, and this built on its own first. And that's exactly how it built. It was straight up like that, which, as you can see, was really, really unstable. It just, and I mean, this one here, this door is not even secured. Like, it's just sort of sitting there on the base tiles, and if you push too hard, that's it. It's just, again, in my opinion, there's not enough stability. And again, it's like, if it does pop out, which it has done, quite difficult to pop back in again because of, and that happens like that. Again, was not really happy with the way it, the way it did its stuff. Again, I thought just, not great. And again, I'll have to fix that because again, I didn't like the way it was. So this is just sort of sitting there on one little stud, and that one, again, nothing was joined together. I actually put a few of my own extra studs in here to attach. Again, this wall was completely separate. This one was completely separate, and it just, everything just sort of fell apart. There's nothing you'll see on this door as well, it's just sitting under there. It's not actually attached to any studs. So I was not happy with the construction of it. Once it was finished, yes, this locked into that locked into that, and it locked fine. But yeah, building it was a bit of a nightmare because everything was, you know, and then to try and get the studs to match, it was pretty much a nightmare. This one here, this little walkway, again, it wasn't finished. I put those black flat tiles on there because they were just left as studs, which again looked unfinished to me. I had to put a little plate in there. I'm not sure if you can, oopsie. See, as I said, not very stable, this one, when you start pulling it to bits. The walkway that went between the two buildings, the plate that's on it, I don't know if you can see me moving it. I just don't want everything to fall off. See, it's not actually attached to anything. It's attached on this one little end here. I would have put it on that building as well. But again, it's just sitting there like that. It's just loose. And, you know, it wiggles too much and the whole thing comes off. Now, there's a little lip there. There would have been no problem sticking it on there, and I don't know why they didn't. Again, it's one of those things, some parts were built well and others just weren't. And that's why, as I said, I had a fair bit of trouble putting it together because, as I say, there's only a couple of studs holding things on, which I didn't like. So, you know, we'll put him back together. And again, that was the thing is pulling it apart and putting it back together was not the easiest thing in the world. As I said, I had to put extra securing studs on things, and yeah, see, because trying to get that to line up with that to stick it on, it's a nightmare. Big bit, you go there, and yeah, it's just, as I said, because there's no extra push on here, trying to get it lined up, and it's, yeah, as I said, I'm not going to be able to do it because it's going to take me about, I pulled it apart before to take some photos of inside. Again, to put it together again now, it's, yeah, it just doesn't, it takes ages to, you've got to squeeze things together and things pop off. So I'm going to leave that as it is because it's, as you can see, it is a bit of a nightmare to do, and honestly, yeah, and then so you've got to try and line that one up with the roof. As I said, once it's finished, it's lovely, and as long as you don't pull it apart to show anyone what's going on inside, you'll be fine. But yeah, as you can see, and again, these are only just held on with two little studs there, and it's a fairly heavy window. You know, as I say, I would have done it differently. But again, that's just me because, again, once you've locked everything in place, it pretty well stays there. But you've got to get it in place. So I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm going to have to put a bit of time in putting it back together. So on that note, I'm going to have to give it a 3 thumbs up because it's brilliant in some respects and it's horrible in others. I also replaced, as I said, some of these plain tiles with the stud tiles so I could get the people to stand on it because, again, if you don't have the stud tiles and you put your people on there, it doesn't take much for them to fall over. And I like my little stud tiles. I've talked about that before in my reviews or tips and tricks that, yeah, pop a stud tile in there so that it keeps your minifig stable. So yeah, a three thumbs up for this one because, yeah, it, as I said, looks beautiful. It really does. And once it is put together, it's fairly stable. But yeah, I think, yeah, and just the lack of finishing on some things, I thought. So yeah, I'm going to wind that up on on my UrGe toy square. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice modular to put in your city, clearly, because I've got one. But yeah, it's not one of the best builds I've ever done. So on that note, up to you. But yeah, as I said, you might have to just put a bit of your own flair on finishing it off. But other than that, we're good. Till next time. Hooray!